So I was just watching over the previous video I just made pertaining to my throat chakra, and some more things came up that I kind of want to throw in there. So as far as this whole my thyroid or throat chakra journey, the section when I was in the midst of it, I also had a lot of other. So I guess I'll share more about the symptoms that are coming up to me. Besides like the weight gain, the weight gain, the tired, and I also had a lot of skin stuff coming up. I had on my hands, it's like I'd get these rashes, but it start like a bump, just kind of like almost like a mosquito bite. And then if I itch it, it'd be itchy. If I itched it, um, it would burn. And then the more I'd itch it, it kind of like spread almost like a rash. And then when I'd itch it, it'd kind of like pop open like a blister, like it, you know, and I think I went to the doctor for that and got, like the steroid cream, all that stuff at that time. And I don't know what they call the skin stuff, but it's interesting how, like even she said, could be like, she said allergies, other stuff like that. But a lot of times skin stuff happens when there's other things going on without it particularly being like a skin issue, if that makes sense, without diagnosing type stuff. And sure enough, when I started, that was luckily and thankfully that didn't last a while. But oh my goodness. And it's even on my feet as well. And, I was also having the swelling, abnormally, like on my feet and my hands. There was something else that came to me as well for the throat chakra. In particular, okay. Let's see. Oh, another thing to share, like little backstory more, is that I had my tongue tie released. Yeah, I had a tongue tie most of my life, and oh, also I was in speech therapy, as a child. So it wasn't just that I like had tubes in my ears and then all of a sudden throat chakra. I had tubes. I wasn't speaking to where it could be understood. I had tubes in my ears and that seemed to help, but I still had speech therapy because I had like lisp. I still see a tiny one. And yeah, like my articulation and pronunciation, if you will. And so I was in speech therapy for that, as a child. And there was a moment when I was outside playing on a playground, well, outside in my backyard, and I had this whole notion to like tie string across the monkey bars and grab onto it and like do a somersault and land gracefully on the ground. So I'm out there by myself and I'm doing this, and as I go down, immediately I'm like, oh no, this is not as I envisioned. And I had actually like in the midst of it, however way, it ripped the tie between my lip and and I remember like bleeding and stuff. And as it turns out, that was the same year, the same time frame when my speech got better. I'm getting goosebumps and like tingles all over. And it's almost though like, because there wasn't that awareness from anyone around me that I had ties going on, that I like, intuitively, released my own. And so yeah, that was when that was 7, and that was the year that I graduated or ended, speech therapy. So while my pronunciation and articulation got better, all this time, I didn't realize I had a tongue tie as well. And that led to a lot of like compensation and tension and stuff. And it was actually through my sister who brought it to my awareness, because my nieces and nephews, all of her 3 children, have had tongue ties and have had them released. And she was telling me all about it. I was like, that sounds so familiar. Like I resonate with that. And as I said, throat chakra, tongue tie, if you will, generational and, other incarnations. Ooh, I'm on fire here. So it's deep. It goes deep. And so, yeah, so I had my tongue tie released, and aside from all the physical stuff, it was like, so things happen energetically in the spiritual subtle realms before, in my opinion, in the physical. And so all the work I had been doing, when I had my tongue tie release, it was like the physical manifestation, or like the physical symbolism of like releasing that. And it's been, I don't know, that was just like a powerful moment, as I could kind of like feel like is it the muscle, whatever, like kind of going, and it's just beautiful. Like more of that like rite of passage is what is coming to me. And for so long I envisioned like the Little Mermaid, scene where she's sitting there, and like her voice is that light and it comes back. And so also in terms of that, I've always been drawn to singing, and I never believed that I could sing. And then, intuitively I picked up on the fact that everyone can sing or learn how to sing. And it really is about like learning your instrument and your voice and your technique. And they talk a lot about tension, in the body and the throat and the vocal cords. And I had been practicing, like started singing prior to my release, and then post release, like my vibrato was just kind of there. And so it was just interesting how my singing was like so much different just from that. And along with and so I sit here sometimes and I'm like, man, I don't like to use the word discount, but sometimes my thoughts is like, in comparison to other people, I'm feeling called to share this. As far as milestones and what society says, what this and this and this. So, here, I'll be vulnerable right now. I'm 33 years old. I feel like I'm rebirth, like starting my life now. I am sober. I ended my addiction. I really am just like starting, besides like spiritually and unbecoming and stuff. I'm in therapy to relearn how to like swallow, how to use my tongue, how to chew, how to do all this stuff, and how to, like, because everything is so connected. And so I kind of feel in every sense like a child baby being rebirthed, being born again, in so many layers and aspects and stuff. And that all of the like, backstory and stuff of my experiences. It's 747 on the phone. Throwing that out there because 47 is like my angel path number. Is that for so long I felt like I didn't meet the standards of society because of what I held my worth to for so long on paper, like education, having my own place, job, savings, all these things on paper that seem to put value and worth to people, the measurement system of, like when I know where I was going, but now I'm kind of just in that, like, it's another beautiful moment, like, to be able to sit here, and before what I used to discount myself for because I didn't meet those, I now see that is one of my great experiences, because through all that, I am stronger, I have learned humility, I'm humbled, I am stronger, I am warmer, my heart is open, and I've healed and grown so much as a person, as a spirit, just in a way to where, I guess what I'm trying to say is that everyone's journey is their own, and where you're at is beautiful, and where you're at is where you're meant to be in this moment. And a message I get a lot is I'm meant to bloom from where I'm at. And so I guess in sharing this video, that's what I'm doing, because this is where I'm at. And yeah.